Welcome everyone to the YouTube channel for Clark County Fire District 6. My name is Dave Schmidtke. I'm the Public Information Officer here. I want to thank you for joining us today. This is a very important subject that we want to discuss. So important we brought in a fire commissioner and a fire chief together. I'd like to introduce to you Chief Kristen Maurer and Fire Commissioner Chris Pfeiffer.
Thank you for joining us and viewing our presentation on YouTube, on the Fire District 6 YouTube channel. Any questions this evening can be typed into the comments section and they will be answered at the end of the presentation. I'd now like to turn it over to Fire Chief Kristen Maurer.
Thank you, Commissioner Pfeiffer, and welcome to everyone who's joining us both online and in person. We are happy to be holding this informational meeting to discuss our upcoming EMS Levy Renewal. We have a short PowerPoint presentation that we'd like to go through that will provide information to you about this EMS Levy Renewal. So our service area at Clark County Fire District 6 covers 70,000 citizens. We cover this area with compassion, care, and excellence. We serve over 37 square miles in the neighborhoods of Hazeldale, Salmon Creek, Philida, Mount Vista, Fairgrounds, and Lakeshore. At Fire District 6, we do more than fire suppression, but fire suppression is part of what we do. A large amount of what we do is emergency medical services, both advanced life support and basic life support. We do fire prevention, public education, technical rescue, and we do hazardous materials incident response. We pride ourselves on being transparent and accountable to our taxpayers. We have always operated under a balanced budget, and we have passed all of our independent audits in the state. We are proud to be operationally debt-free. We do have two bonds that we have for capital facilities, but we budgeted those and we pay them on schedule so that we didn't have to go and ask the taxpayers for voter-approved bonds. When many people think of a fire district, they think of us just doing fire. But in actuality, the majority of what we do is emergency medical services. 87% of our responses are emergency medical services. You can see in the diagram in the PowerPoint the EMS calls to fire. The dark red bars represent fire calls, and the lighter red bars represent EMS. Many people wonder why there are so many personnel on an emergency medical call, and we often get the question of why do we get an ambulance and a fire service unit? At District 6, all of our apparatus and response units have a paramedic on those units. They are all capable of providing advanced life support. At any given time, in Clark County as a whole, there are over 40 fire engines in service. In that same amount of time, there's anywhere from 4 to 10 ambulances in service. What this means for you in the community is that the fire response gets to you quicker than the ambulance can. We can start that treatment sooner, and that is why you get a response from both agencies. We like to say that time is tissue, and the faster we can get to you and start care, the faster and better you recover. In this diagram, you can see why it takes so many people on an emergency medical call. We need company officers, firefighter paramedics, and firefighter EMTs for critical medical calls in order to do all the jobs necessary to save your life. You can see this diagram in more detail on our website under EMS Levy Renewal at www.ccfd6.org. At District 6, we are funded by 2 levies. One is a fire service levy and one is an emergency medical services levy. Both of these levies are capped at a certain amount. The fire service levy is capped at $1.50 per thousand of assessed property value. The EMS levy is capped at 50 cents per thousand of assessed value. At District 6, we know that we can provide excellent service to our community at a rate of 45 cents per thousand, so we don't ask for the full 50%. Over time, these levy rates fall as assessed value increases, and we are limited to only a 1% increase per year, and that is allowed by law. So at times, we have to ask our community to renew levies back to their original approved rate. This helps us keep up with call volume and growth. Our EMS Levy Renewal will allow us to continue providing basic and advanced life support with firefighter EMTs and firefighter paramedics. These funds are used for emergency services personnel, training and certifications, maintenance, equipment, first aid supplies, and equipment replacement. In 2021, our EMS budget was just a little over $4 million. 93% of that budget came from the funds of our EMS levy. The other little over 6% came from other funding sources. So you can see the majority of our funds are through this EMS levy. For our budget expenditures, we believe that our personnel are our greatest asset, and it is important that we hire the best personnel we possibly can. We're not unlike any other business where the personnel are our most expensive asset, and you can see in this diagram that the majority of our EMS expenditures is on personnel, salary, and benefits. The rest of it goes to those other topics I mentioned before: training, supplies, services, and capital. So what would this EMS levy renewal cost you? If approved by voters, we would continue to collect the 45 cents per thousand of assessed value of your property value. So owner of a $400,000 house would pay about $180 a year or $15 a month for 24/7 paramedic response from an excellent fire service agency. That concludes our PowerPoint presentation. If you have any comments or concerns, you can go to our website at www.ccfd6.org and find this PowerPoint presentation along with a video and other narrative information about the EMS levy renewal. You can also contact myself or Commissioner Pfeiffer through our email or phone number that's on our webpage, and we'd be happy to answer any questions or discuss any issues you may have. Thank you.
I don't have any questions live right at the moment, but I do have a couple if you've got a minute. I just want to clarify, you say this is not a new levy but a renewal. What's the difference?
So this is not a new levy, it's a renewal. The district has had an EMS levy in place since the early 80s. Every 6 years that levy expires. So at the end of those 6 years, we ask for a renewal. If this levy weren't renewed, we would lose those levy funds. So that's why we ask for the renewal at this point.
Okay, all right. Commissioner, to you, I don't know if you read the paper, if you are exposed to any kind of media out there, it seems like everybody is asking for a levy right about now. How do our constituents and our customers know which levy that they might be under?
Yeah, that's right. We do have some neighboring agencies that are also moving forward with levies. But this levy renewal here at Fire District 6 is for the voters within Hazeldale, Salmon Creek, Philida, Mount Vista, the Fairgrounds, and Lakeshore areas. Those are the residents that will be voting on this levy renewal.
Okay. Now for more information for people who maybe still have some questions, and you kind of alluded to this already, but what's their best path of action?
Yeah. Well, the best place to find more information is through our website, www.ccfd6.org. We also have a Facebook page under Clark County Fire District 6. We have Instagram under Clark County Fire District 6 and a Twitter account under the same name. And then again, on that webpage is our phone number as well as our emails, and we're happy to answer questions at any point.
You have a really nice video that was done by your handsome and talented PIO, I understand. Okay, I had to get that in there, sorry. Anyway, I do want to thank you both for your time, and I especially want to thank you for spending your time with us, and hopefully we've answered some of your questions. Again, this is on the August ballot, so we've got plenty of time to answer your questions. Again, we've got some other neat videos on this YouTube channel, so stay a while, check them out, have a good time. Thanks again for watching. Take care.